Hello, good morning. I hope that you are all well. I woke this morning to an SOS email from a needleworker. Now, I'm not going to mention names or the project because if somebody emails me with a problem, that's just between the two of us. But I did think that the problem and my solution to the problem would be a good topic for a very short video. Now, the needleworker in question has been stitching on the most magnificent sampler that requires a lot of work, and they've been stitching on that sampler for the majority of about 10-11 months. And there's a lot of speciality stitches in the sampler. And the needlework has been using a millennium frame, and at the end of each stitching session she has been slackening off the tension on her side stretchers. But last night she decided that she wanted to look at all the stitching that she had done, so she actually unrolled her sampler off her frame, and she was very upset to find that some of the stitches had been crushed. Now, the reason that they had been crushed was because her work had been kept under extreme tension. And let me explain. For those of you who don't use a millennium frame, you'd be really surprised at the tension that you achieve on the frame. It is literally drum tight. And the way that is achieved is that you have these side stretchers which push these two bars apart, which creates tension on this fabric. But it doesn't only create tension on this fabric, it creates great tension on this fabric as well. Now, what I do, now I stitch on a stand, but I haven't got my stand in this room. Even if I get up to go to the loo or put the kettle on or answer the telephone where I'm only going to be minutes, I always slacken my work off, because you never know, something could happen and you don't come back to your work for a very long time. So I would always slacken my work off, and by doing that, this is no longer under any tension. But whilst this has been slackened off, this hasn't. You can't even move this fabric a millimetre, right? This is still under extreme tension, and that's where the needleworker went wrong. She didn't take the tension off her top and bottom bars, only the fabric in between. So what I do at the end of each stitching session, now my lap's going to be my stand, which is not ideal, is I would just pop my side stretchers off, and I would take my fabric off the bottom and the top roll. Then I would put my side stretchers back on, and now remember, this is being supported on my stand. And then I would just get my fabric and I would just pleat it over, and then I would cover my work up, and I can leave it knowing that I'm not creasing my work and there is no pressure on my work whatsoever. And obviously I would do the same for the top section that I stitched on. So there would be no pressure on my fabric or my needlework. So that is what I do. So it's just good practice, and I would recommend that everybody who uses a millennium frame takes the pressure off the whole piece of linen. Let's just pop that down a moment. Now, what can the needleworker do to rescue her work? She needs to get those stitches to spring back up, and my suggestion to her was to take her fabric off the frame and hang it on something like a trouser hanger. Now, in the States you call trousers pants. It's a hanger where you've got clips on it, so you can hang skirts, trousers, So I would use one of those, I would put my work on that, then every time I had a shower, I would hang it in the bathroom, not so that it was getting wet, but it would be in a steamy environment, or I would put a pan of water on my Aga and I would hang the frame close by, not over, but close by, so it's in a steamy environment. I think a little bit of light steam would lift those stitches. And please don't take a steam iron to your work. I'm just on about putting that work in a warm, humid environment, just to bring some life back into her stitching. Anyway, that's just a little tip from me. We all learn things the hard way. I learned the hard way when I crushed some of my work, and after that I realised what I was doing wrong, and I had a solution, and it's worked for me for many, many years. So there we are, quick tip from Nicola. Have a good day everybody, stay safe, stay well, and until the next time, bye-bye.